Now we should flip the lights. Okay. Good evening. Good evening, and on behalf of the Wayne Hills High School school community, I would like to welcome you to the World Language National Honor Society induction ceremony. And I am not Mrs. Modig. I am not doing the closing. I am Bud Markowick, and I am very glad to be here and kick things off tonight. I do have a PTO meeting, and we have the end of the year meeting, and a lot of the money is being spent, and some of the projects are being closed, and some of the ideas for next year are being discussed. So I will be departing, not to offend anyone, at about 7:45. So tonight, it's kind of exciting, and I see everyone dressed up, and I think our young people are presenting themselves very well. And I think that part of being in an honor society is presenting yourself not only to your peers, but to the teachers and to the academic community as a whole. This is a good start for many of you as you will undoubtedly go on to pursue higher education, and hopefully will continue your foreign or your world language studies. So tonight we will be inducting students into the Spanish, French, and Latin World Language Honor Society. And it's my understanding that through the efforts of our Italian program, next year we will be adding a fourth discipline, and that will be Italian. So that's very exciting. I'd like to commend our staff. We have many wonderful foreign language teachers, and you will meet them tonight. We have many wonderful students who are pursuing foreign language and will be named with distinction during this ceremony. I'd also like to take a minute just to thank our department chair, Mrs. Modig, who won a very nice honor for herself and for our school community. She was named in Northern Jersey. There were 3 awards given in New Jersey, and for North Jersey, Mrs. Modig was recognized by her peers as the World Language Supervisor of the Year. So I'd like to kick off tonight celebrating her success. And she has a wonderful department, and she pulls it together. And I think that a lot of exciting things are happening. I know there was almost a World Language Olympiad, but I hear that with proper planning next year we will pull it off, and we will have some fun so that we can share not only our academic time and success, but also some social time with people of similar interests. So next year we will be planning on that, and I'm hoping that everyone comes together and makes it happen. Pursuing foreign language. Through these programs, students increase their knowledge. Just as important, they expand their opportunities, and they enrich their academic and personal experience. 52 students will be recognized tonight for excellence, and I think that's a wonderful number of very deserving young people. And I'd like to say that your efforts reflect positively on your school, the World Language Department, your teachers, your parents, and you. So enjoy the celebration. It's something that makes us all proud. And be proud of yourself, carry on in your academics, and it's okay to pursue excellence and achieve excellence, because really, when it comes down to it out in the world, in higher education or in your field, excellence and the pursuit of excellence and accomplishments will be important. So keep your pursuits active. So I'd like to, again, to be brief, congratulate all of you and your parents on your accomplishments, and I support you in your efforts to further strengthen our World Language Department as well. And I thank you, and we'll now continue our program, and I will ask Mrs. Modig to continue the program. And we still have people straggling in because many of our students are multi-talented and are participating in athletics and other activities, and we're glad that they could make it. In fact, that's why we were stalling in the beginning a little bit. But I'm glad that they're making it, and thank you very much, Mrs. Modig.
Good evening. Thank you for being here to join us in the celebration of the accomplishments of these youngsters. It's just a delight to see so many students being inducted this evening. Especially of interest is that tonight's ceremony will be laced with student entertainment. So the students will be sharing some of their talents with us as well as the ceremony itself. This has been a banner year for world languages here at Wayne Hills High School. Showing great initiative in promoting world language study, Jeff Kornitzer and Ashley Bakelman organized a language council with representatives from each of the language clubs. This council planned and executed a number of field trips, as well as spearheading the school-wide celebration of Foreign Language Week in March. During that week, the council decorated the commons to represent the designated culture of the day. The cafeteria followed suit by serving food representative of that culture. Ethnic music was played over the public address system during the change of classes. The school was labeled in 4 languages that we offer. The halls were decorated with posters telling interesting facts about each of the languages, and at the conclusion of the week, a native speaker from the World Cultures Department at William Patterson University came to address our classes. On behalf of the World Studies Department, I would like to thank Jeff and Ashley for their enormous efforts in heightening awareness at Wayne Hills High School to the importance of world languages and cultures. Please join with me. Appreciate that. Would Jeff and Ashley step forward, please? Jeff and Ashley? Please come over. I have a little gift on behalf of the World Studies Department for each of them to just commend them for the initiative that they've shown and to thank them for all of their efforts. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the advisors of each club. Mr. David Partridge is the advisor of the Latin Club. Would you stand up, please? French Club advisor, Ms. Fernanda Amaral. And Spanish Club advisor, Mrs. Claudia Shalega. Their tireless efforts provided so many wonderful learning activities for the students throughout the year, and they also gave so much effort to make this ceremony possible this evening. I thank them very, very much. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the parents, whose support and encouragement has led your son or daughter to achieve the high standards for membership. Before we move ahead, I would like to stop a moment and reflect upon one of the many reasons for studying a world language. Schools intent on preparing students for 21st century realities must take into account the fact that cultural diversity is the norm in both the domestic and international arenas. Around the world, we see unprecedented population mobility and intercultural contact, resulting from factors such as economic migration, displacement caused by military conflict or famine, as well as technological advances in transportation and in communication. The world is changing, and Americans can no longer preserve their insular attitude. Cultural sensitivity has become a critical life skill in the 21st century. To illustrate how the same event can be seen quite differently when viewed from the perspective of another culture, I'd like to read an imaginary journal entry written by a young Spanish boy before the advent of television. Let's pretend that this young boy has journeyed to the United States and completed the first day of sightseeing. Here's what he might write in his journal. I have heard that they do not allow bullfighting in the United States because they think it's too cruel and bloody. But I think that they just don't understand bullfighting because they certainly have their own forms of bloody combat for entertainment here. Today, I witnessed a sport contest attended by hundreds of people. Everybody, TJ, sat on raised benches, watching what went on below them in a large field. At the start of the contest, Two men stood facing each other. From the way the crowd reacted, it was clear that these two were on opposing sides. One stood with his feet apart, head slightly lowered, with both hands grasping a heavy wooden club. Are we getting that to work? Okay. He seemed to be threatening to swing his club at the other man who stood 70 feet from him. He tested the weight of the club and even pounded it against the ground once or twice to make sure that it could deliver a death-dealing blow. Meanwhile, the other man held what seemed to be a very smooth white rock. It was clear that he was preparing to throw this rock at the man with the club, and he swung his arm around and around in a threatening manner, as if to gain speed and momentum for the throw. There were quite a few other men on the field, spaced out at intervals, but while they were all watching the two opponents, they did nothing to interfere. I'm sorry, we're supposed to have a backdrop of what this is all about, and it doesn't seem to be functioning. Are you guessing what it is? Oh, you can't see it because the lights are up? Oh, okay, so you're getting a little something. That's good. Okay, I'm sure the secret has been revealed, but let me continue. I thought at first that the contest was to see who could kill the other first, whether the man with the rock could hit the man with the club before he had a chance to advance and club the rock thrower. But now I am not sure that this is the way the contest goes. The man with the rock threw it. The man with the club did not duck, as I had expected him to. Instead, he attempted to ward off the rock by striking it with the club. To my astonishment, he succeeded in doing this. The rock went flying off towards one of the bystanders on the field. As soon as he saw what he had done, the man with the club was apparently afraid. He hastily dropped the club and started running. The bystander, toward whom the rock was traveling at great speed, bravely attempted to catch it so that it would not injure the others, but he did not succeed. Fortunately, no one was hit. The rock fell to the ground. It was immediately scooped up by one of the bystanders in the field, apparently an accomplice to the rock thrower. This man also tried to hit the club wielder by throwing the rock in his direction, or perhaps he was trying to throw the rock to another accomplice closer to the runner. I am not sure. In any case, nobody succeeded in hitting the runner. It looked as if the runner was going to be able to get clear off the field before anyone could stop him. But for reasons I never understood, he suddenly stopped running and slid along the ground towards a white sack. The crowd yelled, "Safe," and I guess he was safe because thereafter nobody tried to throw a rock at him. Instead, a new man came up with a club and the contest started over. Yes, an exaggerated illustration, I know, but one that I hope will remind you of the importance of trying to see things from the vantage point of another's cultural conditioning. What I just described, of course, was a baseball game. We must be sensitive to cultures and perspectives that are different from our own. Initiates, your language studies have moved you well on your way to making that happen, and I congratulate you for your cultural sensitivity. And now one final thought. Students, I suggest that you think of your new language as if it were a beautiful perfume. Keep it bottled up inside of you, and you will reach no one. Eventually, your learning will evaporate, and your vessel will discolor. Instead, I ask that as you come into contact with many diverse peoples, that you try out your fragrance. Allow it to fill the air around you, and you will enjoy the pleasant effect that it will have on others. Notice how its beauty opens the way for effective communication that blooms into a new tapestry of human connection and human understanding and human appreciation. Let your language skills become your passport to the 21st century. It's now my pleasure to continue with the program and introduce Mr. David Partridge.
All right. We're going to start our Latin program with some entertainment. So you don't have to hear me talk. You're going to hear a song by Kristen Leskowitz, a famous song in Latin called Gaudiamus Igitur, and she's going to be accompanied ably on the piano by Jeff Kornitzer. Ashley? Ashley. Kristen, thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. I would now like to introduce Jonathan Huang, who will be reciting Knowledge Produces a Tranquil Mind.
This is a poem by Lucretius, and it was written 2,000 years ago. Basically, this poem tells how we should all aspire to attain knowledge and wisdom, and from there, we will be able to be free from difficulty. And while other men and women foolishly strive for material possessions, we who live among the ranks of philosophers and scholars are free from troubles. Suave Marie Magno, turbantibus aequora ventis, e terra magnolterius spectare labor. Non quia vexari, quem quest jucunda voluptas, sed quibus ipsi malis carias, quia cernere suavis. Sed nil dulcius est, bene quam munita tenere, e dita doctrina sapientum templa serena. De spiceronde quias, alios pessimque videre, eratque viam, palantes quaerere vitae. Curb tarin genio, contendere nobilitate, noctes adque dies, niti praestante labore. Ad sumas emergero pes, rerumque potiri. O miseras hominum mentes, o pectora caica. Thank you.
We are gathered here for the initiation of these students in the Wayne Hills High School chapter in the state of New Jersey into the National Junior Classical League Latin Honor Society. Our members come from the ranks of the National Junior Classical League that extends membership annually to over 50,000 students of Latin in the United States and abroad. In order to be a member of this prestigious society, students must be in their third year of Latin and must have attained a minimum cumulative grade point average of 3.75 in Latin out of a possible 4.0.
A student's membership in this NJCL Latin Honor Society represents his continued interest in increasing his understanding of our own culture by learning to appreciate that of the past. He must show a desire for learning ancient languages and an enthusiasm for everything concerning Roman and Greek literature, history, arts, and society. I now present Mr. Partridge, our Latin teacher and advisor of our Latin Club and Latin Honor Society chapter, who will induct these diligent students into the Latin Honor Society.
All right, so I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You're going to answer them in Latin. Here we go. Your membership will make certain demands of you. In the presence of all these witnesses, I ask you the following questions. 1. Do you wish to enter into our society, the National Junior Classical League Latin Honor Society? If you wish this, say nos volumus. Secondly, do you promise to try to share the knowledge concerning Greek and Roman matters? If you promise this, say nos polycabimur. Lastly, will you try to be the best students and to provide the best example for other students? If you will try this, say nos codambimur. With great joy and with great praise, I am pleased to welcome you into our society. Please come forward when your name is called to receive your membership certificate. Kyle Kavanaugh. Ryan Chatta. Ryan, glad you made it. Alicia Forrest. Jonathan Wong. James Josephs. James, congratulations. You're welcome. Michael Ratner. Michael. And Mo Rustum. We now declare you members of the National Junior Classical League Latin Honor Society. Display this award proudly, for you deserve the recognition and the honor that you receive here this evening. May your knowledge become your strength. Thank you. You want to hang up here? TJ, could you come down here, please? And Jeff, could you come up? I'm going to take this opportunity to do one more thing here, which is not an honor society thing, but it's something that's equally worthy of some recognition. Every March, all Latin students in Wayne take the National Latin Exam. The National Latin Exam this year was taken by 130,000 students in the United States and 9 countries. It's administered at the levels of Latin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I believe there's even a Latin 6. We had a number of terrific performances on the National Latin Exam this year. Some of these people have already been recognized, but 3 students scored exceptionally high on this test and are being given special medals to show for it. On the Latin 3 test, scoring a silver medal summa cum laude is Mo Rustum. Mo, this is yours. Congratulations. At the Latin 4 level, we had 2 special awards here. For TJ Siafi, another silver medal. Tremendous performance. Thanks, man. And last but not necessarily least, scoring almost a perfect score on the test with a gold medal, maxima cum laude, Jeff Cornitzer. So that's about all for the Latin department. Congratulations to you all. I'm going to turn the program over to Fernanda Amaral, who's going to take us through the French section of the program.
Félicitations à tous. I would like to congratulate these excellent French students on their accomplishment. We will begin their ceremony this evening with our French 5 student and French Honor Society member, Caitlin Farrago, who will be singing La Misère, which you might recognize as On My Own from Les Mis. She will be accompanied on the piano by Jeff Kornitzer, Spanish language inductee.
Jolie de ci, jolie de faux, je t'ai revauche, je t'ai coquette. On peut naïve, mais pas trop, pour ne jamais perdre la tête. Et je me faisais fête, dans chant d'oiseau, dans jour nouveau. La misère n'aimait de personne. La misère est pourtant ceux des hommes. Mais personne sur terre n'en veut porfier. Comme mes bateaux damnés dans un cachot de la Bastille. la misère enfante la détresse, bien des vices et toutes les faiblesses. La misère, lâcher la bête en l'homme, et la maison jalouse enchaînante se transforme. And I know it's only in my mind that I'm talking to myself and not to him. And although I know that he is blind, still I say there's a way for us. La misère n'aime de personne. La misère et pourtant ceux des hommes. Mais personne sur terre n'en veut pour fuir, comme peut donner dans ce cachot la bestie. La misère enfante la détresse, bien des vices et toutes les faiblesses. La misère, lâcher la bête en l'homme, et la maison jalouse enchaîne et rentre se transforme. I love him, I love him, I love him, but only on my own.
Thank you, Caitlin. Our French 3 student and inductee Neha Pandey will be reading the poem Modelette by Henri Régnier.
Si j'ai parlé de mon amour, c'est à le vent, qui m'écoute quand je me prends sur elle. Si j'ai parlé de mon amour, c'est au vent, qui rit et chuchote entre les branches. Si j'ai parlé de mon amour, c'est à l'usure, qui passe et chante avec le vent. Si j'ai parlé, c'est à l'écho. Si j'ai aimé de grands mots, tristes ou joyeux, ce sont tes yeux. Si j'ai aimé de grands mots, c'est fou ta bouche, grave et douce, c'est fou ta bouche. Si j'ai aimé de grands mots, c'est fou ta chair, tiède et tes mots fraîches. Et c'est ton ombre que je recherche. Merci.
Thank you, Neha. Benelli Latilla will be reading the history of the society in French, followed by Shroshi Barnagy, which will be reading it in English.
Le couche du flambeau est une cérémonie qui avait lieu à Athènes dans la Grèce antique. Pour cette solennité, des citoyens s'espaçaient fumant une sorte de chaîne. Le premier allumait un flambeau à l'autel, courait le transmettre à un second, qui le transmettait à un troisième, et ainsi de main en main. Chaque citoyen courait sans regarder en arrière, percevant la flamme qu'il allait remettre à un autre. Platon a reconnu dans cette gousse de flambeau l'image de génération de la vie. took place in Athens in ancient Greece. For this ceremony, citizens spaced themselves, forming a sort of chain. The first one lit a candle at the altar, ran and passed his flame to a second, who passed his to a third, and thus from hand to hand. Each person ran, without looking back, keeping the flame lit, which he passed to another. Plato saw in this race a picture of the generations of life.
Thank you. These are the inductees to the French Honor Society for 2003. Neha Pandey. Benelli Latilla. Shroshi Banerjee. Jennifer Maldarelli. Patricia Wiseman. Shireen Takbianan. Celine Cusick. Luba Abramsky. Jordan Reeser. Katie Shanks. And Elizabeth Wiseman. Ready? All right, go ahead. Merci. Blow it out. Congratulations. We will now continue with our Spanish Honor Society inductees. Ms. Shalego.
Buenas noches, good afternoon, good evening actually. Felicidades a todos. I would like to congratulate each and every one of you for the outstanding accomplishment that you have performed not only in Spanish, but in all your other classes. We will begin the ceremony this evening with our Spanish 5 student and Spanish Honor Society member, Nicole Lecarica, who will be singing Al Fin.
Mi soledad se ha ido y la vida Las nubes son azules. Mi corazón sintió mucho amor. La noche que te vi, encontré un sueño que pude hablarle, un sueño que podía llamarlo mío. Encontré un amor que era una maravilla, un amor que nunca conocí. Oh, yeah, yeah. Tú sonreíste y entonces mi corazón era tuyo. Y aquí estamos en la gloria. Oh, tú eres mío. Al fin. Oh, no, no. Eres mío. Al fin.
Wow, muy bien hecho. Muchas gracias, felicidades. Spanish Honor Society member Thomas Yu will be reading the history of the Spanish Society, and Jeanette Donnarumma will be reading it in English.
Estamos reunidos aquí para la iniciación de este grupo de estudiantes que han mostrado y probado en vive intereses en la bella lengua castellana.
We are gathered here for the initiation of this group of students who have shown and proven a deep interest in the beautiful Spanish language.
La Sociedad Honoraria España fue fundada por la Asociación Americana de Maestros de Español y Portugués en 1953 para los estudiantes de escuelas secundarias norteamericanos.
The Spanish Honor Society was founded by the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese in 1953 for the students of North American secondary schools.
Nuestro capítulo de la sociedad está en su año 14. El nombre de este capítulo es Sansón Carrasco. Nuestros lema es todos a una. Nuestros colores son el rojo y el oro. Nuestro signia el y nuestro sello son los de la Madre Asociación.
The Wayne Hills chapter of the Society is in its 14th year. The name of this chapter is Sansón Carrasco. Our motto is All Together. Our colors are red and gold. Our insignia and seal are those of the Mother Association.
Tomás, Jeanette, muchas gracias. Spanish 5 student and Spanish Honor Society member Amina Altay will be reading the poem Excelsior by Núñez de Arce.
Excelsior, ¿por qué los corazones miserables? ¿Por qué las almas viles en los feroz combates de la vida ni luchan ni resisten? El espíritu humano es más constante cuanto más se levante. Dios puso el fango en la llanura y puso la roca en la montaña. La blanca nieve que en los hondos valles derritiese ligera, en las altivas cumbres permanente, inmutable y eterna.
Muchas gracias. And now it gives me the great honor to present you the 2003 Spanish Honor Society inductees. Vina Avani. Elliot Belzer. Dan Bigos. Daniel Chang. Lin Kong. Laura DeDuke. Jillian Englesby. Emmy Gallardo. Sarah Gallup. Janelle Gottesman. Jason Jablonski. Jeffrey Kornitzer. Daniel Kraus. Dustin Kuko. Jennifer Ortiz. As you can see, I'm running out of room. My group is quite big. Jeff Petriello. Nicole Reyes. Kelsey Rogers. Jessica Sanchez. Meryl Schrank. Angelica Sensini. Sharan Sequera. Anita Singh. Ilya Slavinsky. Dana Stefancic. Rachel Strunk. Christina Vahansky. Kelly Ward. Lara Weissman. And last but not least, Boris Zaydel. Now, will last year's Spanish Honor Society members please come up and join us? We're ready? Okay, start lighting. ¿Estamos listos? ¿Empiezan? Él. Muy bien.
I'd like to recognize another staff member who's in the audience this evening. Mrs. Lynn Curtin is a teacher of French here at Wayne Hills High School and also at Schuyler Colfax Middle School. Would you please stand up, Mrs. Curtin? I don't know of whom I am more proud, the professional staff or the students, maybe both. Thank you for this evening. It is a joy to celebrate this occasion. And to further the celebration, we would like to invite you across the way to the cafetorium to partake in the refreshments that we've prepared for you. Let's just have one round of applause for all of these wonderful inductees. Thank you. Please join us for refreshments. I'd love to meet all of you.
That's good.
That's over.
That was good.
Yes.
So there you go.